Welcome back to another video. My name is Neve. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thanks for clicking on the video. I'm going to talk a little bit today about what my fitness journey has been like. It's a pretty chatty video, so I hope that you enjoy it. I talk about what my fitness experience has been like up until this point and what my goals are moving forward and what ups and downs I've had along the way. So if that's something you're interested in, please keep watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it and subscribe if you want to see more health and fitness content from me. But that's all I have to say for now. Let's get right into the video. Right now I'm 24. I never remember how old I am. I'm 24 right now. So in my childhood I was very active. I did gymnastics until I was 14. I did like swimming lessons, soccer, dance, that kind of stuff as a kid. But I was most serious in gymnastics and I was pretty competitive just at like our provincial level in gymnastics until I was 14. I got injured when I was I got injured when I was like 13-ish. Kept training after that for about a year and then I stopped. It was just becoming too much for me. In hindsight, I do wish I had kept going, but at the time it felt like that was the right decision for me. I was training, I think, 16 hours a week at my peak in gymnastics, so it was quite a lot. And I wanted to join the school volleyball team, and that was kind of, gymnastics was conflicting with that a bit. So I decided I would stop doing gymnastics and just continue on with school sports. So after I stopped doing gymnastics, I did volleyball at school. That's pretty much the only sport I played. I did some track and field. I went to a really small high school though, so none of that was like super competitive or super intense at all. Just a couple nights a week of practices and whatnot. And so after a couple of years of not doing gymnastics, I don't know the exact timeline, but I started going to the gym and just doing some workouts in the gym at our local gym. My mom had a membership there, so I started going with her and started working out quite a bit. I quickly realized that like going from working out so much to then only training a little bit to do volleyball for a couple months of the year was a huge shift for me. So I started going to the gym more consistently and I really enjoyed working out. I enjoyed learning about fitness. I wanted to try and do get the most effective workouts while I was at the gym. So I started working out, pretty much just doing anything I could find online that was like bodybuilding.com. I probably wasn't the most consistent with following a program, but I was kind of just playing around in the gym, getting comfortable in the gym, and it was enjoyable for me. Moving forward, I was interested in CrossFit, and there was kind of like the boom of CrossFit around that time. I know CrossFit had like started quite a bit before, but it was really popular at that time. And so I tried to start doing CrossFit. I did some like CrossFit style workouts on my own. And then I took a class at a local CrossFit gym. And so I did the little like onboarding program where they kind of teach you the basic movements and whatnot. And so from there, I really enjoyed the initial onboarding process at the gym. I felt well supported. It was just an enjoyable experience. I was interested in the movements and I wanted to learn more. So I got a pass for the CrossFit gym, but I wanted to learn more of the Olympic lifts because they didn't teach us a ton. I thought they were super cool and I just wanted to get better at doing them. So I looked for a coach that taught specifically Olympic weightlifting. So initially I was learning Olympic weightlifting just to feel more confident in CrossFit. So at that time I was going to some CrossFit classes and I very quickly realized that I wasn't a fan of the CrossFit environment. I didn't feel very welcome in the gym. I felt uncomfortable. It gave me a lot of anxiety. I didn't like being last in the workout, but I didn't feel like I could keep up with the class and I felt like I was in relatively good shape. I didn't like feeling like I was going to die every single workout. So overall, my CrossFit experience was not great, but I had scheduled like a one-on-one session with this Olympic weightlifting coach. So I went and I did that and I loved it. I did 2 hours the first day. I was nervous for that as well. I'm not like a super outgoing person, so it was a little bit nerve-wracking for me. But we did 2-hour session. I was squatting heavier than I'd ever squatted before. I learned how to do a clean. I cleaned like a ton of weight my very first day. And so from there, I scheduled a few more like one-on-one sessions with the coach. And then eventually I decided I would join the Olympic weightlifting team that he had, this kind of club. And so that was at a gym an hour away from my house. And I think I was around 16, maybe 17 at this time. So my parents pretty much drove me. They did drive me every time. Well, no, eventually I was driving myself. But so in the beginning, they were pretty much driving me to the gym. Initially, I was going 3 days a week, and then that ramped up to 5 days a week. That was kind of the expectation from the coach. Not in like he didn't put any pressure on us. He was an amazing coach. Didn't put a lot of pressure on us, but he just loved the sport so much. He wanted you to be there as much as possible. And it's a very technical sport, so it takes a lot of practice as well as developing your strength. So I was commuting on my own or with my parents from my house to the gym about an hour each way, 5 days a week. So at that time I was in high school and I was finishing my last year of high school, and I had done some courses ahead of time. So I actually finished a semester early. Well, I had one semester where I think I only had one course or something I had to do. So I'd finished early. So I was pretty much I was working as a lifeguard, and I was weightlifting in the city. And that's pretty much it. I had like very minimal course load. Eventually I graduated high school, and then I had that summer off before I started university. I had gone on a school trip to Europe, and so coming back from that, I struggled a little bit to get back into my training routine just from the jet lag and feeling tired, but I got back into the routine. So the year I graduated high school, that summer, I was Olympic weightlifting in Edmonton, which is the hour away from where I live with my parents. 5 days a week, loving it, really seeing improvements in my strength, improvements in my skill, wanting to be quite competitive, doing competitions, feeling really motivated, really excited, and really like I had found a sport that I was excited about, I was passionate about, and it was really, really, really motivating for me. I wasn't thinking about my body composition whatsoever. You had to compete in a weight class, and I think I remember deciding to compete at 63 kilograms. So I tried to gain some weight in the sense that like I wasn't restricting my calories whatsoever. I was eating as much as I could so I could do the best I could in the gym. And I really wanted to get stronger, and I was getting stronger, and I was really, really enjoying the process. Just quickly, I'll touch on prior to this, when I had started going to the gym, I was following pretty much always feeling like I needed to be on a diet. Pretty much all the information I was getting from sites like bodybuilding.com. On bodybuilding.com, they used to have meal plans included in their articles and with their workouts, and it would pretty much be 5 meals a day. I don't even think it broke down the calories and macros for you. It just told you what to eat at each meal, and pretty much it would always be like oatmeal and egg whites for breakfast, a snack of like broccoli, chicken, and almonds, and the meal plans were broken up like that. But they were pretty much all aimed at losing body fat and fat loss. So pretty quickly on, I kind of had this idea that being healthy meant being on a diet. And so I did a lot. I started counting my calories relatively young in high school. I never felt like I was trying to be skinny. I just thought I was trying to be healthy. So I would count my calories. I would try to stick to a random calorie goal. Like I'm not really sure where I got my target calories from. Of course, being young and in high school, I probably could have been eating a lot more, but I wasn't that consistent either. Unfortunately, it kind of created that cycle of I would feel like I was doing good if I was tracking my calories and counting all my calories and sticking to them. And then when I wasn't tracking, I would feel like I was doing bad, and I would sort of get into that binge and restrict cycle because I felt like counting my calories was healthy, and then if I wasn't counting my calories, I wasn't healthy. So I'd kind of been approaching nutrition with the mindset that I had to be on a diet in order to be healthy, but I wasn't too concerned about my weight. That's just what my understanding of what being healthy was being on a diet and counting my calories. So when I was Olympic weightlifting, and especially over that summer, I really started thinking about I want to feel good in the gym and I want to have energy in the gym. my workouts were 2 hours long. So I was trying to eat enough to support that training. I wanted to build muscle, but mostly I wanted to build strength. I wanted to get stronger. I wanted to improve the movements I was doing and get stronger in those movements. So over that summer, it was a great time. I met my boyfriend through this Olympic weightlifting club as well. So we were both working out, we were eating lots. I was just working as a lifeguard. It was pretty chill. It was really, really fun, really enjoyable experience for me. And it was nice because I had finished high school, wasn't in university yet, really had no responsibilities, and I could just work out. So working out 5 days a week for 2 hours at a time did not feel like a big deal to me whatsoever. I had competitions planned. I was having fun. It was a great experience. So then in the fall of that year, I started university. So I started university. We took a vacation, a family vacation. I was still trying to do my weightlifting. And then of course I was in this new relationship with my boyfriend, who I'm still currently with. So there was a lot going on. So that September, I ended up getting strep throat, which seems like it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but I had just started university. I was trying to maintain my training schedule just for fun. It was very recreational, but I wanted to stick with it. And then I got sick. And so university was stressful for me. It was a very big adjustment. Not so much the course load was stressful, and I think I underestimated how stressful it was, but also just the environment of being around 30 people that I didn't know, because I went to a small campus that was designed specifically for my program. So I wasn't in like a big university setting with hundreds of students, which in some ways I feel like would have been more comfortable for me. I was with only 30 people. And so I felt like I didn't really have any social relationships in that group. And so it was stressful for me, as well as I just wanted to do well in school. That was stressful. So I ended up getting strep throat. And it ended up being like a very unpleasant experience for me. Of course, like it only lasted a week or so, got some antibiotics and it was resolved, but it was very uncomfortable. And it just came at a time where my like emotional stress was at a peak. And so from there, I feel like things kind of declined for me. So my first semester of university, I tried my best to maintain my weight training schedule, but I was going to a university that was another 30 minutes in the opposite direction. So now for me to get from university to my weightlifting gym was an hour and a half drive. So there was a lot going on, and I had 6 courses to do at that time because our course load was preset. So it was very busy, it was very stressful, and it was a huge adjustment for me. I was in a new relationship, university was new to me, and I was trying to train 5 days a week, doing difficult exercises as well. Doing clean and jerks and snatches and things are hard exercises to perform. So it was stressful. I got strep throat. And from September to December, things kind of declined. By December, I think I did a competition in October. I did a provincial competition in October, and I have footage from that. And it's like a moment that's quite like discouraging to me. I really wasn't handling stress well at that time. Like I feel like my mental health wasn't great, and I let that get the best of me. And so I did this competition and I didn't perform well. And then just mentally, that felt really shitty and my self-esteem really took a hit. And so by December, I had quit weightlifting altogether because I couldn't maintain it with my current schedule. Working out 5 days a week was not working with my school schedule. And I hadn't gotten a ton of like direction or support from my coach being like, here's how we can adjust and adapt. Of course, this was just for fun. He had a ton of other athletes, so it wasn't like super personalized. So I ended up just stopping Olympic weightlifting altogether. And so then fast forward, I went through university. It took me only 2.5 years. It was just a diploma program, 2.5 years, but I was doing a spring course or a spring semester. So I did 3, 6, 7 semesters, something like that. So 7 semesters of university. Of course, I was taking a psychiatric nursing program, so I had to do clinical rotations, and it was very stressful. University was a hard time. I underestimated how hard it would be. Again, there was a lot of like emotional stress that came with it as well. And as well as I was still in a relatively new relationship. And so my boyfriend lived this hour away from where I lived. And so I would commute to see him fairly regularly, and sometimes I would be attending classes at the main campus that was in the city he lived in. So we were seeing each other fairly often. And honestly, it was a very positive experience, and that was like one of my biggest supports throughout university was my relationship with him. So that's something that I'm grateful for, but it still adds an additional piece of stress to your life. So I got through university. It was hard. During that time, I pretty much stopped working out altogether. And what came with this new relationship was eating and eating a lot more, as well as the stress that I was feeling. I was dealing with that stress through eating. And I think that's pretty common. We talk about the freshman 15, which isn't really a thing in Canada, but it's a joke, right? We talk about that you're going to gain a ton of weight in university, and I think a lot of that has to do with how we try to handle the stress that we're experiencing. So for myself, I grew up in a very like rural community, and so I hadn't had access to fast food all the time, anytime, easy access. So once I started dating my boyfriend, we were eating out a ton. And so it was super easy to meet up and be like, oh, what should we do? Let's just go out to eat. And so I went from like very rarely eating out to eating out like 3 to 5 days a week. And then we would be like walking through the campus and you'd just stop and grab a donut. We'd eat out multiple times a day. So I stopped working out and I was eating out a lot. So I gained weight throughout that period, as well as I was just stressed, which of course contributes to more weight gain. So I gained weight throughout that time, and eventually I reached my heaviest weight, and I was feeling a little bit frustrated. Mostly I wanted to feel that same fulfillment that I had got from working out before, but I wasn't really sure how to go about that. And I had tried doing some workouts while I was in university. Like I would work out maybe once or twice a month, and it would never be very enjoyable. I couldn't find anything that I got excited about, and I just wasn't super sure how to get back into exercise. And the thing is, I was studying to be a mental health nurse, so I understood to an extent, I understood the value that exercise plays on your mental health, as well as self-care has on your mental health. I had instructors who were trying to encourage us to practice self-care, but of course it was a lot easier said than done. And just because I know the benefits of exercise doesn't mean it makes it easier to start an exercise routine. So near the end of university, my boyfriend and I decided to get a DEXA scan. So we had that done, which is like a scan that basically tells you what your body fat percentage is. It tells you like bone density and amount of muscle mass and whatnot. But really we did it to see what our body fat percentage was. And so pretty much I was back to this place where like, to me, healthy equaled dieting. And the fact that I had gained some weight, I definitely was like, okay, I want to lose this fat. Healthy means losing fat. And so I really had that association that health equaled weight loss, health equaled being on a diet. So we had done the DEXA scan, and I actually had done well with losing weight. So in my second last semester of university, we got the DEXA scan. And so together, which was really nice, we both were trying to lose weight. So we were, I think, sending each other a check-in. We were helping each other with our calories. I think I was working out a little bit, but my workouts weren't anything special. And counting calories basically. And so I did lose weight. And so for that several months I had lost weight. Then the summer came again, pretty much stopped tracking. I had never really set up a good workout routine in that time. So then I entered this phase of like yo-yo dieting like crazy. My weight wasn't changing a lot. So it was a lot more of like mental stress of like, okay, I'm doing good, I'm on a diet. No, I'm doing bad, I'm not dieting. Okay, I'm doing good, I'm on a diet. No, I'm not doing good, I'm not dieting. And so that went off and on and off and on. So then finally, I graduated university. We went on a vacation. And so then all of a sudden I graduated university and I had to start working. So there was also this like tough growing pains of being like, I had been looking so forward to graduation as that was going to be the end, the stress was going to be gone, and it was something to look forward to. And then I graduated and I started working, and work was hard and being an adult was hard, and there was no end date to working. So it just felt like I was kind of strapped into this job without knowing how long I was going to be doing this for. And you definitely have that initial realization of like, oh, this is what the rest of my life is going to be. Like it was definitely a growing experience for me to go from being a student to then being a working adult. So I started working, we went on vacation. Coming back from vacation also put me in a kind of a shitty mood. And so it was winter time, I was working, I was home from a vacation, everything just felt kind of low. So I wasn't exercising a ton. My diet, I can't imagine I was tracking very well. So that also made me feel like I wasn't doing a good job. So I was planning another vacation. We were going to go away, and then the pandemic happened. So then it was March, the pandemic hit, and there was some excitement in that because everything was so up and down. I was working in healthcare, things were changing every day, it was chaotic. So I wasn't really thinking about health and fitness whatsoever. But I think at that time, my boyfriend and I decided we would try again to lose fat. And so we had both been kind of yo-yo dieting up and down. So we're like, let's get serious. Let's get into a good routine. Let's go for this. And so we did that, and we stuck with that for several months. We, of course, lost the weight. We kept each other accountable. We started getting into more of an exercise routine and lost the weight. Summer came, and we kind of just continued in that pattern. And so I think at that time, I was really just feeling not very fulfilled with my health and fitness. I didn't have very good motivation just to lose weight. And it felt like the only time I was ever motivated was when I felt crappy and I was like, okay, enough is enough. I want to do something to change. But weight loss was never a very like inspiring or exciting goal for me. So I did try a few different things throughout this course. At some point, I did Whole30 for about 14 days. I really did that because I was looking for some sort of sense of control, and I just felt like this was going to revolutionize things. Even though I do feel like I had the understanding that this was a very restrictive diet and it wasn't going to make me feel better, I still decided to do it. I tried to do it, and then of course I couldn't sustain it. So I had done Whole30, kind of looking for that to give me some more inspiration. I had read different nutrition books and things, and then I was trying to find some sort of motivation to exercise again. And so I ended up doing a couple different things. I had done a couple half marathons and a couple 10K races. So I was doing some long distance running, and I wasn't like thrilled to be doing long distance running. It wasn't like something I was super excited and super passionate about, but it felt like one of the very few options of what I could do as an adult to have a health and fitness goal that wasn't just weight loss. I wanted to do something that gave me the same excitement that weightlifting had given me, but that was more accessible to me. I never really went back to weightlifting. As much as I had loved it, it was quite taxing. My hips were in pain a lot, and I just knew the commitment it took was too much, especially when I was just trying to get back into my routine. So I did some running and did that kind of off and on, and I eventually did an obstacle course race. I was just trying to find ways that I could like get myself motivated. I was finally able to get into a more consistent workout routine when I started working out with my sister. We started meeting up several times a week at my home gym. So thankfully I have this great home gym. My boyfriend works as a personal trainer and teaches martial arts. So we have this like amazing environment. So I mean, I was working part-time. I'm young. I don't have kids. I didn't have any other responsibilities aside from work. I had a home gym. I had a boyfriend who could coach me, and still I struggled to get into an exercise routine and stay motivated and make it enjoyable. So what helped for me and what really made a difference for me to get into a routine was working out with my sister. So I would write our workout programs, which was fun for me. I love writing workout programs, and I've always loved doing that. So I would write us workout programs. We would meet up 3 days a week, and our workouts only took like 20 minutes. They were full body workouts. We were changing up the exercises all the time, a lot of variety just to keep it fun and interesting. And so we started doing that, and we were able to be consistent for like 9 months, and then some things happened, but we got back on track. And we were consistent for like a year, and that really helped me get into an exercise routine and find some excitement for working out again. I actually really like resistance training. But when you've been away from that for so long, you lose motivation, and motivation's up and down. So having a workout partner who I was accountable to was super helpful, because there was a lot of days where I was like, meh, I don't feel like working out. And growing up, I'd kind of always been like a fairly self-motivating person, a fairly determined person. If I decided I wanted to do something, I felt like I was pretty good at following through. I wasn't someone who I felt like asked for help a lot. So I don't think I appreciated how much I needed some support at that time. And I think I would have benefited from working with a personal trainer, reaching out to an online coach, something like that. Thankfully, I had my sister and I had my boyfriend's support to help me get back to that place of feeling motivated and feeling able to do this on my own. But I couldn't do it on my own in the beginning, and I needed to have some support to get back on track with my routine. I got back into working out, established a good routine again. I still kept thinking of healthy eating as equivalent to being on a diet. And so my diet was very much like up and down. I was yo-yo dieting. My weight was all over the place. Eventually I tried to get serious again. I went through a cut. I cut down to 120 pounds. I thought that was going to make me happy. And just losing weight for the sake of losing weight is not that inspiring to me. It's not exciting to me. I don't really care. Yes, I want to look really good. And right now I have this motivation to want to shape my physique. But I always just felt like I was starting a new weight loss journey. It was discouraging. I was struggling to figure out how I could balance having a life and enjoying myself with losing weight and being lean and all these things. And I was just still, even though I had established this routine, I was still looking for some more external goals, something to get excited about, something to be inspired by. So that's where I had ran another half marathon. I did the obstacle course race. I was looking for something that I could do as an adult, to have something to train for, a goal to work for, something to get excited about, something bigger than myself and bigger than losing weight to keep me motivated. And so I did the obstacle course race, and then I was working on doing my pull-ups, and I wanted to be able to do 10 pull-ups. So I spent a decent amount of time training just pull-ups, and that was kind of my goal. But I wanted something where I wasn't going to be alone in this all the time. I wanted a sense of community. I wanted something that felt bigger than me. I wanted something to train for, something that weightlifting had been for me. I wanted to find that somewhere else. And so now that brings me up to pretty much where I am today, or where I was about 6 months ago. So I somewhat jokingly said, okay, I could do a bikini competition. So I started making some health and fitness content about a year ago from today. Started making health and fitness content online. Been trying to figure out how to get excited about health and fitness again, how to feel a sense of community, how to have these goals to work towards. And so then I kind of jokingly said, well, I could do a bikini competition, and that would kind of help me probably gain more engagement on my social media, and that might help me figure out what's actually going to make me happy. And I kind of said it jokingly and in a way that was like, way in the future, I could maybe do a competition. And then though, once I kind of planted that seed, it really excited me, and I didn't want to let go of that. And so feeling that little bit of spark inside me was really, really exciting, because I hadn't had a goal for myself in quite a while that got me excited. It scared me, but it excited me at the same time. So then that brings me to where I am today. So in my previous video, I go over what my bulk has been like and what the process over the last 6 months has been like in building muscle. And so all of this right now is for the goal of doing a competition. And so for me, what I like about the goal of doing a competition is that, yes, there's going to be a prep and there's going to be a diet period, but it also gives me a purpose to work out, to push myself hard in the gym. I'm trying to build muscle right now. It gives me something bigger than myself to keep me motivated for the days that I don't feel like doing it. So it's just something that like I can do as an adult and feel like it's something that I'm capable of, something that's accessible to me. It's challenging, but it's not impossible. It's not something where I feel like I had to have been doing this since I was 6 years old in order to be a part of it. And it's, for me, because I've been going to the gym quite a bit, it doesn't feel like I'm learning a brand new skill. So it feels like something that's accessible, but it's something that's motivating and inspiring to me as well. So that pretty much wraps up what my fitness journey has been like up until this point. So pretty much I was active, and then life happened, life stresses happened. I fell off my fitness routine, and eventually I got to this point where I am now in a consistent routine. I have goals for myself. I'm working hard. I'm not just trying to diet and lose weight aimlessly. I have something that I'm working towards. I wanted to share this just to give you some perspective into my journey, give you an idea of what your fitness journey might look like. Hopefully it's something that you can relate to, in the sense that life is very up and down. There's going to be times where you're really on your fitness grind and times where you're not, and that's totally fine. And I guess just another takeaway is that I think it's really beneficial to find something that is greater than just losing weight to work towards. I don't say that to say that losing weight is a bad goal, but I think it's nice to have something slightly bigger than yourself that's a little bit more motivating, connects you a bit more with the community, and gives you more of a sense of purpose to what you're working towards. But anyways, that's all I have for today. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I would love to know any of your thoughts. If you want to share them with me in the comments, or you can connect with me on social media, I will have all my information down below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It means so much to me that you took the time to watch this video. I would love it if you could subscribe and join my little fitness community, and we can support each other working toward our goals, give each other that sense of community, that motivation, to keep each other going and just keep each other inspired to live a healthy lifestyle. So again, thank you so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day and keep chasing your goals.